Hey, it's me, Vicky Marie. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in this crazy world we're living in. So, I wanted to come on. It's going to be very brief. I'm still poorly, I've still got a cold. For anybody who watched my live this morning, though I think I'm not quite sniffly as I was. It's a beautiful day here in Spain. Anyone who knows, I am based in Spain, in Europe. It is a beautiful day. It's warm. Say warm. It's 15 degrees. It's a bit windy though, but it is definitely so much nicer than it has been lately. Anyway, I've picked up this cold, but I'm going to talk about this case regardless. I can't wait till I feel better, till my cold goes away because I want to keep you updated. Now we've been followed, like we followed quite a few cases, don't we? But this is one of the cases we followed right from the beginning. This is the case of Anna Kepner. Now, Kepner, all the cases that we follow are sad, but I think this person, 18 years old, this is a person who's had no life yet, or not much life. She's on the threshold of her life when her life was extinguished on a cruise ship. Anna Kepner set off on a cruise over there in Miami, Florida, with her blended family. She set off, there were 9 people, 9 family members on this cruise that Anna Kepner went on. And this is another thing, it's just amazing to me that you go on a cruise where there's thousands of people on the cruise. You go with 9 members of your family and you are still not safe from violence, from death. So Anna got on this cruise, but she never got off it. Well, she got off it, but she was unfortunately deceased. She was carried off it. Anna, I think it was more or less the last day of the cruise. The cruise had nearly finished. Anna was found deceased by a crew member under her bunk that she was sharing the room with 2 of her brothers, one a stepbrother, one her full brother, uh, a 16-year-old and a 14-year-old. And Anna was found by staff, sort of wrapped in a blanket, covered over with life jackets, stuffed under the bunk, and deceased. And it is thought that Anna died by a chokehold, that she was, well, strangled, but by a chokehold. And ever since it happened, the spotlight, if you like, or the focus, the suspicion has been on her stepbrother, Tim Hudson. I'm probably not supposed to say his name. Now, we're not going to hear much about this case as it goes on. That's why now really, even anything that we've ever heard about her stepbrother being a suspect, it's not come from the FBI who are dealing with this case because he's 16 years old. He is a minor. He is not, when someone's a minor, you're not supposed to discuss them. Also, the only things we've found out really are because of custody battles that are going on with his mum, who is the new partner of Anna's dad. It's a very confusing family dynamic. So what we can see is that Anna's dad himself has got a checkered history. He has, uh, how can I put it? He's known for having a penchant for young girls. He had an affair with Anna's babysitter many years ago, allegedly. He then ended up marrying her when she got to 18, even though he was a grown man. His wife, his ex-wife, Anna's mother, has been on social media saying that he has had, God, it was a lot of affairs. Was it 16 affairs? That he's had different relationships with young girls. Anyway, who knows? But he is now married to Anna's stepbrother's mum, who, and as I said, the only reason we found out anything about her stepbrother and the fact he was under suspicion is because of custody battles. So his father, immediately stepped in, went to the family court and asked for custody of him and also his daughter. Oh, confused you will be. It is a real complicated family dynamic. But the one thing that we do know is that Anna is dead. Somebody killed her. She did not kill herself and stuff herself in a blanket underneath her bunk bed. Somebody did that to Anna. And the latest news is, and this is the first news, the first charges that we've had in this case, is that her stepbrother, Tim, he has been charged in a federal court. But not much can be said about it because he's only 16 years old. So because he's a minor, the information, Anyway, this is Anna. This is allegedly her stepbrother and his lawyer arriving at court. He's not in prison. He has been released to a family member, which is where he's been staying with her. He was removed from the marital home because there are young children in that home. But he's been staying with a family member, from what we can gather, what we were told. Here he is appearing in court, 16 years old. And the thing is, in this case, was it a deliberate case of murder? Or were they horsing around? Because his mother insists that they were the best of friends. They were like peas in a pod. That's actually what she said. They were peas in a pod. They were friendly. That her, him, and Anna's other brother were the three amigos. That they all loved each other so much and they got on so well. That's what we hear on one side of the fence. But on the other side of the fence, we hear other people like Anna's ex-boyfriend saying that this boy was obsessed with Anna. She was terrified of him. He'd done some weird things like jumping on top of her when she was in bed, so we hear conflicting accounts of whether this boy did love Anna, whether Anna loved this boy, in a brotherly way, or was he obsessed with her in a different kind of way? These are the questions to be asked in this case. I'm just wondering, I'm going to go back to the picture of Anna. I'm just wondering if we'll ever know, because when it comes to a court case, if he's a minor, will we get any details whatsoever? I don't know. Anyway, I want to just take that down and show you. Sorry about my sniffing. I want to show you an article that will explain it all. Let's see where we're going here. Just make sure it's sharing. Hey Popeye, long time no see. Good to see you. Yeah, here we are. So this is the article. So as I say, it's going to be a very short live. I just want to let you know what the update is. So the stepbrother finally has been arrested and charged after the teen girl's death on the Carnival cruise. The stepbrother of 18-year-old Anna Kepner, who was found dead aboard a Carnival cruise ship in November. Now, I just want to say obviously my prayers go out for Anna, in the other realm that she's in now. But also my prayers do go out to her family, because it must have just been awful. Having said that, just when I've watched the family speaking, including her grandparents, it's all about this boy protecting him, and nobody seems to want to. There was Anna was on the brink of joining the armed forces. She wanted to be a K9 officer. She had her whole future at her feet. The tragedy is Anna. Now, the boy maybe did not mean to kill Anna deliberately, or maybe just went too far with the horseplay. I don't know. But the thing is, Anna is dead. He's going to live. He's 16 years old. Even if he got a 25-year sentence, he's going to have a life at the end of it because of his age. So, yeah, his life is ruined, but he's at the moment he's living his life. He's going to live his life further down the line. Anna's life is gone. And all the promise that Anna showed, she would have been a valuable person in society. Hi, and Paul. Yeah, luckily he's finally been charged, but he is at large all the same. He isn't in prison. So he's been arrested and charged this week in connection with the case, according to Anna Kepner's father, who is the stepfather of the suspect. And as I say, Anna Kepner's father, he likes young girls. He's not. Listen, none of us are perfect. I know that, but there are some things more significant than others, aren't they? Him having an affair with his babysitter when she was 14, and okay, eventually married her when she was 18. It doesn't say much about him, does it? Anyway, the stepbrother was released to the custody of a guardian, Chris Kepner said, but it's not known what specific charges he is facing. So, although he's been charged, what has he been charged with? Manslaughter? Murder? Uh, we don't know. And I don't think we're going to get to find out because this case has been sealed by the FBI just because of this lad's age. So, very sad. The family said they will all remember her as a happy, bubbly, straight A student with a bright future ahead. So it is a double tragedy for the Kepner family, really, because not only they've lost Anna, but now all this suspicion on this boy, and now he's been charged. So the family's lawyers did not reply to requests for comment. All court records are sealed because the suspect was charged as a juvenile. The FBI, US Attorney's Office, and the local prosecutor's office would not discuss the case. And weeks after Anna's death on the cruise ship during a Caribbean vacation, the stepbrother had been named as a suspect by his parents in a court filing in an unrelated custody case. Yeah, and I do think that if it wouldn't have been for that custody case, we probably would have got to know nothing whatsoever. The teen girl's death was ruled a homicide according to a death certificate, which said that her death was caused by mechanical asphyxia. And here is the Carnival Horizon cruise ship. This is the actual ship. And look at the size of it. This is what just amazes me. If you couldn't feel safe going away with 9 family members on a cruise ship that has thousands of people on it, you're not even safe in your own cabin, because she was sharing, wasn't she, a stateroom with her 2 brothers. That, the thing is, uh, the stepmother says, "Oh yeah, the stateroom was just opposite from her room with Anna's biological father, and other children were in that room." Yeah, they were the 3 amigos. They were like peas in a pod. Her and Tim Hudson. They were best friends. That's what she says. And then, as I say, other people saying something completely different. And she said that Anna was offered to stay with her grandparents and said she wanted to stay with these two boys. So where's the truth? I don't know what the truth is. So the Florida teenager was on vacation with her grandparents, father, stepmother, siblings, and step-siblings. She was found dead under a bed, wrapped in a blanket, and covered by life vests, according to a security source briefed on the investigation. And Chris Kepner and his wife Chantel, who is the suspect's biological mother, issued a lengthy statement on Friday. We would like to express our sincere gratitude to the Federal Bureau of Investigation and the Department of Justice for their dedication, professionalism, and thoroughness into the investigation into the murder of our daughter. It's so odd, isn't it? Because, yeah, they're giving that statement, the murder of our daughter, but it's their son who is being prosecuted for it. We appreciate the seriousness, care, and integrity with which this case has been handled. The loss of our daughter is a pain that will never fully heal. She was taken from us in a violent and senseless way, and our family has been permanently changed. Our grief is overwhelming, and her absence is felt in every part of our lives, which I imagine is true. No parent should ever have to bury their child, and no words can fully express the depth of our loss. We believe in accountability and the importance of justice being carried out. Our daughter deserves justice, and her life deserves to be honoured through a full and fair legal process. We are grateful to the investigators and prosecutors who have worked to uncover the truth and to ensure that this crime is treated with the seriousness it warrants. At this time, it is deeply painful and disturbing to our family that the person responsible is able to walk freely. This is what they say. This reality adds to our grief and outrage. It's devastating to know that while we live every day with the loss of our child, the individual responsible has not yet been fully held accountable. I mean, how weird is that? Because the person who they're saying is walking free and hasn't been held accountable, he is their child also. This only strengthens our resolve to continue seeking justice for our daughter. During this investigation, we were advised by the FBI to remain quiet. We respected that request out of trust in the process and in hopes it would help the investigation. However, as grieving parents who continue to live with unanswered questions and ongoing pain, we can no longer remain silent. Our daughter's life matters, and we will continue to speak out to honour her, to seek accountability, and to ensure that her case is not forgotten. While this tragedy has deeply hurt our family, we will not let it tear us apart. Our focus remains on honouring our daughter's memory, seeking justice for her. We thank the FBI and the Department of Justice for their continued efforts, dedication, and commitment to this case. Well, goodness me, I mean, what do you make of it? Let me know, as always, let me know what you think in comments. This is another one of those crackers cases, really. But the only thing we know is this poor girl, Anna, she's dead. And this is the person, this is her stepbrother arriving at court with his lawyer. I did think it was strange he was arriving with his lawyer, as his mother cut all ties with him then. His mother and his stepmother, as she cut ties with him. He's walking free, staying with a guardian. What guardian? I wouldn't want him staying in my house, would you? If he'd murdered someone who supposedly he loves. Oh my goodness, you'd have to sleep with one eye open and with your door locked, that's for sure. So yeah, according to forensics, Anna's death was homicide, but they're not releasing what charges have been brought against her stepbrother. Was it? Has he been is he on murder charges or manslaughter charges or what? He's on some sort of charges, but he's you know living free uh, with a guardian um, because he's 16. That's why. And as I said, do you know what's really worrying me about this is even if he is found guilty, what's the maximum he's going to get? He's not going to get the death penalty, is he? So he may get, I don't know, what, 20-year sentence maximum, I think he's going to get. And he'll only be 36 then when his sentence is finished. So he's still going to have a life. Anyway, we don't know the details of what happened. It could have been accidental. There's a possibility, isn't there, that maybe they were messing around and he just went too far and he put his arm around her neck. He should never have put his arm around her neck, of course. But, maybe he just held on too long, didn't realise. I don't believe it was a planned murder because I don't believe that you would plan a murder on a cruise ship like that. Because what are you going to do with the body? And that's what he had to do is cover her up, put her under the bed. He probably didn't know what the hell to do with her. So I think if he was planning to kill her, which he may have been, I don't know in the future, but surely he would not have done that on a cruise ship where it'd be so difficult to get away with it. There's CCTV everywhere. She was seen going into the cabin. He was seen going into the cabin. No, she wasn't seen coming out. I presume he was. Arguments were heard in the cabin. It's thought that the other brother, the 14-year-old, he actually slept in that cabin, not knowing that Anna's body was right there next to him under her bed. So I don't know what's going on here. Anyway, I just wanted to let you know the latest. He has been charged. Excuse me. The stepson, he has been charged, but we don't know what with. But he is still free. He is free. He's with a guardian. He's not in prison. And I suppose then we've just got to wait for the court case now. But as I was saying, even when the court case comes up, we're probably not going to hear much because of his age, because he's 16. Uh, yeah, I don't know, Paul. Do you know what? It could be because, this is the FBI that's dealing with it because it happened in international waters. So it's gone into the jurisdiction of the FBI. And I have a feeling that the FBI, it's because it's an FBI case. Maybe the judge, at his or her discretion, at some point the judge can decide. Normally, I would imagine if a name can be released, but maybe not if it's an FBI case. Maybe some of you, maybe some of my American followers out there, you'll know a bit better about that. I'm trying to think how it works in the UK. Again, I think it's up to the judge in the UK to decide whether a juvenile's name can be mentioned or not. But I don't know about the USA. So I don't know. So I'm open to suggestions about that. I literally have no idea. And of course, in the USA, it's different from state to state. The rules are different. But if it's being dealt with by the FBI, then I presume the FBI rules, whatever they are, come into play. And I don't know what they are. So, yeah, anyway, I just wanted to let you know it. Whatever, it is good news that at last some charges have been laid because, this is November, this happened. We're in February now. It's it's a long way on, isn't it? We're talking about 3 months and only just charges being laid, but we don't even know what the charges are, for God's sake. Could be manslaughter for all we know, but her forensic results were that she died by homicide. So, okay, so I thought I'd just let you know the latest. Thank you for watching. Thank you for caring about Anna. I know there's a lot of you out there that care about Anna. Other cases always come up, don't they, and sort of take over. The case that we're all fascinated with at the moment, or one of the many, is of course the Nancy Guthrie case. I think there might be developments with that later on today when America wakes up, which it will be waking up round about now. Any developments in any of the cases that we're following, as soon as I am able, I will bring them to you. So take care of yourself. I'll see you really soon in the next video. And until then, may your God go with you. Bye.